Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Rama Rama Hare Rama Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Prabhu Nityananda Vasadi Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 720 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय Please forgive me to stop you from that static chanting. Today's quote on chanting by Srila Prabhupada, it's a conversation between a guest and a Srila Prabhupada. Guest asks Srila Prabhupada, when you chant Krishna, does it goes inside your heart? Srila Prabhupada said, why not? When I call you rascal stupid, does it not go inside and you become angry? So when ill name goes inside and made you angry, why not when you chant God's name, it will go inside? We are affected so much for days when someone calls us ill name. So when we call God's name with love and devotion, why don't our hearts remain pure? Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. I am Pooja from Sydney. May I know who have joined today?
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Nikunja Rasadas from Germantown, Netherlands.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna Puja Mataji, Vandana Pranam to you and all the devotees on the call. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Rupini Padma Devi Dasi from Orlando, Florida.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining.
Hare Krishna Puja Mataji and all the Samari. Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shamarasi Kadivadasi from Germantown, Maryland.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Today we are so fortunate to have His Grace Sarvadrik Prabhuji from Mayapur. And today Prabhuji will enlighten us on Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 7, Chapter 1, verse 14 onwards. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please take over the call.
Dandavat Pranam. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Dharam Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayat Nashta Prayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavata Utama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtuti Krishna Swadamo Bhagate Dharma Jnana Divi Saha Kalo Nashta Deshamesha Purana Kudunodita Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. We're very fortunate to be reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 1, beginning with text 14. Please excuse me, I'm dealing with a cold. I'll try and give a decent class today, depending completely on the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I'll read the Sanskrit word for word, and there's several verses here without purport. So let's make our way through. Drishta Mahadbhutam Raja, Rajasuye Mahakrito, Vasudevi Bhagavati, Sayujam Chetibu Pujaha. Tatrasinam Surarishim Pan Raja Pandu Sutakrito Prapacha Vismita Mana Muninam Shinvatam Idam. Tishtva, after seeing Maha Adbhutam, greatly wonderful, Raja, the king, Rajasuye, called Rajasuya, Mahakrito, at the great sacrifice, Vasudeva, unto Vasudev, Bhagavati, the personality of Godhead, Sayujam, merging, Chedivu Bhuja of Shishupal, the king of Chedi, Tatra, there, Asinam, seated, Sora Rishim, Narada Muni, Raja, the king, Pandu Sutta, Yudhishthir, the son of Pandu, Krato, at the sacrifice, Papracha, asked, Vismita Manaha, being struck with wonder, Muninam, in the presence of the sages, Shantatam, listening, Idam, this. Translation, O king, at the Rajasuya sacrifice, Maharaj Yudhishthir, the son of Maharaj Pandu, personally saw Shishupal merge into the body of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Therefore, struck with wonder, he inquired about the reason for this from the great sage Narada, who was seated there. While he inquired, all the sages present also heard him ask his question. Text 16. Now we're going to hear from Yudhishthira. Shri Yudhishthira Uvacha Oho Atyadbhutam Hyetad Durlabhai Kantikim Kantikinam Api Vasudevi Pare Tatte Praptis Chaidyasya Vidvasaha. Maharaj Yudhishthira inquired, it is very wonderful that the demon, Shishupal, merged into the body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even though extremely envious. This Sayuja Mukti is impossible to attain even for great transcendentalists. How then did the enemy of the Lord attain it? Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada. There are two classes of transcendentalists, the Jnanis and the Bhaktas. The Bhaktas do not aspire to merge into the existence of the Lord, but the Jnanis do. Shishupal, however, was neither a Jnani nor a Bhakta, yet simply by envy of the Lord, he attained an exalted position by merging into the Lord's body. Certainly this was astonishing, and therefore Maharaj Yudhishthira inquired about the cause of the Lord's mysterious mercy to Shishupal. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militanjena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Shishtam Manumapi Sachiputram Atra Sarupam Rupam Tasyagajamurapuri Matim Goshavatim Radha Kundam Girivaram Maho Radhikamadhavasam Prapta Yasya Pratita Kripaya Shri Gurum Tam Natusmi Vande Nanta Adviteshayam Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhum Nichopi Yat Prasadat Sad Bhakti Shastra Pavardaka Nityanandam Maham Novi Sarvanandakaram Param Harinama Padam Devam Bhavaduta Shiromanim Nilachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannataya Te Namaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhani Suti Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vansha Kopatrabhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva Chapatitanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Important point we should understand here, mentioned in this verse, merging into the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Merging doesn't mean giving up our identity, because Krishna says in 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Vaivam so jiva loke, jiva bhuta sanatana. Manasyastan indriyani prakritistani krashati. It says that the jiva bhuta sanatana, that he is jiva sanatana, eternally. Merging doesn't mean you lose your identity. This is the philosophy of the nonsense Mayavadis, that you become one with the Supreme. You may merge into Brahma Jyoti, but you don't lose your identity. Because Lord clearly says, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, you're my Angsha, you're part of me, individual soul, Sanatana, eternally. That never, eternal, there's no point in beginning of time, eternal means there's no point where it began, there's no point where it ends. We're eternally part and parcel of the Lord. So Sayuja Mukti doesn't mean you lose your identity. This is a nonsense Mayavad philosophy. And they give the example of a pot, a clay pot. There is air inside the pot, there is air outside the pot. Break the pot and the air inside the pot merges with the air outside the pot. Or they say like rivers merging into the ocean. They both are illogical examples. First of all, we're not a pot and we're not a river. There should be some corresponding relationship to make an analogy perfect. And the molecules of the air within the pot don't become the molecules of the air outside the pot. The molecules remain individual. The molecules don't all clump together and become one molecule. They maintain their individual integrity as individual molecules of air. And as it is with water also, H2O is H2O. In the water, in the river, or in the sea, all the individual molecules of water remain H2O. They don't become one homogeneous H2O body. There's individual molecules. So similarly, this type of mukti, Sayuja Mukti, doesn't mean you lose your identity. You become God. Krishna is always God, and we're eternally Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. We're eternally his Angsha. Mama Eva Angsha, Mavai Vangsho, Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. We're eternally part of him. And what is it? The proof. Next part of the verse says, Manastas Indriyani Prakriti Stani Karshati. We're struggling in this world with our mind and six senses. If we're God, if we're actually God, and we have the capacity to become God, why are we struggling? Why do we have to struggle to maintain put food in our mouth, a roof over our head, clothes on our back, pay our bills, maintain our health, why do we have to die? Does God die? Does God get sick? Does God get old and wrinkled? Does God become diseased? It's all foolish ideas by foolish people who wish they could become God. But this is an impossibility. We're eternally Ansh of the Lord. And merging doesn't mean we lose our identity. So we should understand this very carefully. This is not, and we reject this Sayuja Mukti also. Would Hanuman give up being Hanuman, a separate identity from Ram, to become Ram? Would Sita give up being Sita to become Ram? Impossible, because they're enjoying so much happiness being the servant of the Lord, being the lover of the Lord. So in Vaishnavism, we can accept other types of liberation, but we reject this Sayuja Mukti. So although this is mentioned here, Prabhupada said there are two classes of transcendentalists. In other words, they can understand this material world is false. They understand something, but their conclusion is wrong. The conclusion of the Gyanis is that let us merge into the personality of Godhead. But what does Krishna say about such Gyanis? It says, Bahunam janmanam ante jnanam mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sadurlava. After many births and deaths, after trying repeatedly over and over again and getting it wrong over and over again, someone may become Jnanavan, like we say Dhanavan, Jnanavan. Someone who has knowledge, someone who has money. Many different, this is a particular type of, I can't remember the term of in the Sanskrit language. Anyway, Jnanavan means that someone who has knowledge, someone who has real understood his position. What does he do? Krishna says, Mam prapadyate. He surrenders to me. This is the objective. Jnana is not the objective. Narottam Das Thakur said, Jnana karma, jnana kanda, karma kanda, kevala vishera bhanda. It's a pot of poison. It's poisonous. We reject this idea of merging into the Lord. This isn't the conclusion. They say this is the conclusion of Vedanta. No, we say Bhakti Vedanta. Bhakti is the conclusion. Vasudeva is the Jnanavamam prapadyate. Someone who is actually in knowledge surrenders to Krishna. Mam prapadyate. This is the conclusion, Bhakti Vedanta, to surrender to Krishna, to become a devotee. Manmanam avamad bhakto madhyaji man namaskuru. To become a devotee, to worship him, to offer obeisances to him, to fix your mind on him. This is the conclusion. And Krishna said, who is that person? What kind of rare soul who accepts Vasudeva is everything. Vasudeva Sarvamiti. That Krishna is everything. Who is that person? What kind of person is he? Most rare Mahatma. Samahatma. Sudurlava. Sudurlava. Most rare transcendentalist. Not the Gyanis. They may rise. Bhagavatam says, Aruya Krishtena Parampadam Tata. But Tante Adho Nadrati Yushmanang, by Krishtena sadhana, they may rise very high. They may merge into Brahma Jyoti, as Shishupal has done, by becoming the enemy of the Lord. If this is available for the enemy of the Lord, if such mercy is available, liberation, this type of liberation is available for the enemy of the Lord, how much can we expect by surrendering and becoming a lover of the Lord, as far as we're able? Begging, pleading, sacrificing, chanting, all the things we do. How much mercy can we expect if the demons, the blasphemers, the enemies of the Lord get liberation? What can we expect? We can't imagine. The blessing will come to us by this process of bhakti. So that they may merge. But Aruya Krishnena Parampatam Tata Padante Adho Nadrata Yushmanangra. They don't take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, so they can't maintain their position. They can't stay there. They may stay for millions of years, but it's not an eternal position. Srila Prabhupada gave a nice example. He said, as an airplane may take off from the airport and fly in the sky, but it's an artificial position. He can't stay there. He can't. He needs fuel. The airplane needs fuel. If it doesn't get fuel, it will fall out of the sky. It has to come back down to the earth. and the Jnanis may merge temporarily in the Brahma Jyoti of the Lord by Krishna sadhana, extreme austerity and sacrifice, but they can't stay. They have to come back to this world. So what is the point? Come back and start all over again. What a waste of time. Therefore, Krishna says, become my devotee. Just become my devotee. So they're both transcendentalists, Jnanis and the Bhaktas. But the Bhaktas do not aspire to merge into the existence of the Lord. We reject that. Varam deva moksham na moksha badhimba. Nachanya vreneham varesha dapiha. Idam te vapur nata gopala balam saname manasya virastam kemanyai. The devotee says, I reject Vaikuntha. I reject impersonal liberation. What do I want? Kimanyai. I don't want any other thing than to fix my mind on Krishna, to go back to Krishna, to manmana bhava madbhakto, think of Krishna, worship Krishna, bow down to Krishna, become Krishna's devotee, and go back to Krishna. Yanti deva vrata devan pitwin yanti pitrivada bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti madhyaji no pimam. Krishna gives full facility. There's different options. There's a menu. Worship, there's a transcendental menu. Worship the Devatas, you can go there. Worship ghosts and spirits, you can go there. Want to go to Pitri Loka, you can go there too. But yanti madhyaji no pimam. You worship me, you come to me. So we have to choose. Every soul in the creation of God someday has to come to this point. What do I want? What do I really want? Do I want sense gratification? Do I want opulence, respect, position, influence, prestige, bank balance? Or do I want Krishna? Because how is it the great kings like Yudhishthira is hitting in this Rajasuya sacrifice? So many saints and sages. Prabhupada said millions of Brahmins are there. Millions. Yudhishthira walked away from everything. His kingdom, his treasury, his army, his palace, his family, everything, when Krishna left the planet. Because his life became meaningless. Without Krishna, my life is meaningless. So we should feel like that. Yugayutam nameshena chakshusha prabhishayutam shunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virdahename. We should feel that the whole universe is zero, void, meaningless. Why? Govinda virdahename, being separation from Krishna. But what is our disease? We feel separation from good food, separation from respect, separation from our possessions. Like if you lose your mobile, you misplace your mobile phone. Oh my God, where is my mobile phone? Or your computer? I lost my computer? Oh, my whole life is ruined. We are attached to the material world. This is our disease. Why don't we feel separation from Krishna? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, if I was actually a devotee, I would die in separation from Krishna. But I go on and maintain my life so I get some respect as a sannyasi. This is Mahaprabhu's feeling. I would die in separation from Krishna. Why don't we feel like this? Because we're covered by the modes of material nature. We're covered by Maya. Like this, like we say, the sun is covered by clouds. Sun is like here in Mayapur. It's cloud. Everything's gray, overcast. Is the sun covered? No. My vision is covered. I can't see the sun because of the clouds. We can't see Krishna. We don't have love for Krishna because our vision, our feeling for Krishna is covered by the modes of material nature. Sun is shining brightly in the sky. When you fly somewhere, the plane goes up, and it moves above the cloud cover. All it just is a great expanse of sunshine. Krishna is there. He's waiting for us. He's waiting. When will you give this up? But we're covered by the clouds of the three modes of material nature. So we want to become devotees. Because what other else is there to do? Why be jnani? Useless waste of time. We want to become a devotee. This is a process. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. Therefore, sadhana. Sadhya means the goal. Krishna prema. Krishna bhakti. Unalloyed. What does that mean? Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma dhyanavitam. Anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhaktir uttama. We want uttam bhakti. Nothing less. not there. We shouldn't imagine ourselves to be great devotees, because a Vaishnava thinks, I'm not a Vaishnava. One of Srila Prabhupada's beloved godbrothers told my godbrother, Bibi Govinda Maharaj, when he was a brahmachari, a Yudhyapati Das brahmachari, he went to visit him in his last days. And he went there to offer his respect, begging forgiveness for any unintended mental, bodily, or offense by words, body, mind, words. He said, you're great Vaishnava, Param Vaishnava, Paramahansa Vaishnava. If I've ever offended you by words, by body, by mind, if I may, please forgive me, because you're a great devotee. And this devotee replied to him, no, I'm not a Vaishnava. I'm not a Vaishnava at all. I pray to the dogs and the pigs and cows of Navadip that these Dhamvasis, these animals, may bless me to become a Vaishnava. And still they have not blessed me. I am not a Vaishnava. This is a Vaishnava. This is a Vaishnava. Someone who thinks, I'm not a Vaishnava, I'm fallen soul. Bhaktivinoda Thakur prayed, Mama nivedana shuna vishayi durjana sadakamarata kichu nahi mora guna Gopinath, Gopinath, Gopinath. The sadakamarata. I'm full of lust. I'm always full of lust, trying to enjoy this material world. Kichu nahi mora guna. I have no good qualities. Vishayi, I'm a sense enjoyer. Durjana, I'm a fallen person. Pamara, Patita, fallen soul. This is Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who in Krishna Leela is Kamala Manjari, an eternal associate, Ragatmika devotee, eternal associate of the Lord in Vaikunth, in Goloka. And how is he presenting himself in this world? I'm full of lust. I'm fallen. I'm Durjana, fallen soul, Pamara, rascal, fool. This is a Vaishnava. We should understand our position by studying the statements of great Vaishnavas. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, he said that anyone who speaks my name, Krishnadas Kaviraj, will become bereft of all punya. All good accumulated good piety will be immediately removed, destroyed, just by saying my name. Krishnadas Kaviraj Ki Jai. He said that I'm more sinful than Jagai Madai. I'm lower than the worm and stool. Why do they say like this? Because they feel like that. They actually feel like that. It's for our benefit, yes. But it's for our benefit. Srila Prabhupada said, I'm sinful. I made a study of this. There's a wonderful book every ISKCON devotee should read about containing all Srila Prabhupada's poetry. It's so wonderful. How he just pours out his heart to his Gurudev, pours out his heart to Krishna. Many poets we're familiar with. Markandeya Bhagavat Dharma. His Vyas Puja offering to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Many things we're familiar with. Other things are there, devotees are not so familiar with. And how he's pouring out his heart in profound humility. I'm sinful, I'm fallen, insignificant, beggar. He uses these adjectives. Insignificant, fallen, sinful. Is this Prabhupada? But he feels like this because he's Param Vaishnava. So we should take note, who is a Vaishnava and what we should aspire for, to become a Vaishnava, to qualify ourselves, to enter Goloka, which means to detach ourselves 100% from any hope of material happiness. Anyabhilashita shunyam, make it zero, shunyam. Anyabhilash, any other abhilash. Anyabhilash means any other abhilash. To make zero. Jnana karma dhyanavatam, make jnana and karma work in this material world. Jnana, the hope of merging into the impersonal absolute, make it zero. Anabhitam, we reject it. Anukuyena Krishna Anushilanam. Anukul means to serve Krishna favorably. Because this rascal, this demon, he's not, of course, he's not actually a demon. He's Jai Vijay, he's cursed by the gatekeepers of Vaikuntha. That's it. We'll get to that, if hopefully, if we have time. He's not actually a demon, but he's acting as a demon in Leela. Prabhupada said one time that the devotees won't fight with Krishna. So the devotees come in the guise of demons to fight with Krishna so that Krishna can keep his body fit. To fight with Krishna, to keep his body fit. So Krishna enjoys the fighting spirit. So the devotees play the role of demons. So he's not actually a demon, but this is his relationship with Krishna, simply cursing Krishna, simply cursing him. There's actually a nice description in the summary of 10th canto of Bhagvatam, chapter 74, I think. I'll read it. This is quite nice, just to refresh our memory. As the sacrifice proceeded, we're reading about Rajasuya sacrifice, right? Rajasuya sacrifice is there, and they have to choose who shall be worshipped first. And millions of saintly persons and Brahmins and everyone is there. Who do they choose? Krishna. As the sacrifice proceeded, the ritual of first worship had to be performed, and the members of the assembly were called upon to decide who would receive this honor. Sahadev spoke up. Sri Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is indeed the most exalted person, for he himself comprises all the deities worshipped by Vedic sacrifice. And his role as the supersoul in the heart, he arranges for everyone in the universe to engage in his particular kind of work, and by his mercy alone, human beings can perform various kinds of pious activities and receive the resultant benefits. One who worships him worships all living entities. Surely, Lord Krishna should be worshipped first, end quote. Nearly everyone in the assembly agreed with Sahadev's proposal and loudly congratulated him. Thus, King Yudhishthira happily worshipped Lord Krishna. After bathing his feet, the king took the wash water and sprinkled it on his own head, and then on the heads of his wife, younger brothers, ministers, and relatives. Then everyone all shouted, all victory, and bowed down to the Lord Krishna as flowers rained down from above. Everybody's happy, right? Not everybody. Shishupal, however, could not tolerate the worship and glorification of Sri Krishna. He stood up from his seat and harshly rebuked the wise elders for choosing Krishna to be worshipped first. After all, he said, this Krishna is outside the system of Vedic social and spiritual orders and the society of respectable families. He follows no principles of religion and has no good qualities. Even as Shishupal continued to blaspheme him in this way, Lord Krishna remained silent. But many members of the assembly covered their ears and quickly left the hall, while the Pandava brothers raised their weapons and prepared to kill Shishupal. Lord Krishna stopped them from attacking, however, and instead used his Sudarshan chakra to decapitate the offender. At that moment, an effulgent spark of light rose out of Shishupal's dead body and entered the transcendental body of Lord Krishna. Having lived through 3 births as the enemy of the Lord, Shishupal now attained the liberation of Soyuja, merging into him by dint of his constant meditation on him. So there's many lessons in this whole situation. The actual verse where Shishupal, one of the verses we can examine because it's very interesting. When Shishupal was blaspheming Krishna, and he was from his birth because they're all cousin brothers. Dantavakra, Shishupal, and Krishna are all cousin brothers. Their mothers were all sisters of Vasudeva. So they're all cousin brothers. And from birth, Shishupal hated Krishna. He became the king of Chedi, and whenever he got the opportunity, he had the blessing. You can blaspheme Krishna 100 times, 99 times, but the 100th time, you will die. So Shishupal Uvacha, how can you pass over the most exalted members of this assembly? topmost sages, dedicated to the absolute truth, endowed with powers of austerity, divine insight, and strict adherence to severe vows, sanctified by knowledge and worshipped even by the rulers of the universe. How does this cowherd boy, the disgrace of his family, deserve your worship any more than a crow deserves to eat the sacred Purodasha rice cake? So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And in this whole dialogue, there's a secondary meaning. He's blaspheming Krishna, but there's a secondary meaning where he's actually praising Krishna. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments, the term Gopal, Gopala, means not only cowherd, because Shishupal's thinking, I'm the king of Chedi, and he is simply a coward. But there's another meaning to cowherd. Gopala also means protector of the Vedas and the earth. That is Gopal also. And who is the protector of the Vedas and the earth? That is Krishna. Kulapam Shana has a double meaning. Shishupal intended it to mean the disgrace of his family. Kulapam indicates those who prattle with crooked words contrary to the Vedas. And Amshana, derived from the word Amshayati, means destroyer. In other words, he was praising Lord Krishna as he who vanquishes all misguided and frivolous speculations about the nature of truth. So another amazing meaning can be derived from Shishupal's apparent blasphemy of Krishna. Shishupal wanted to compare Lord Krishna to a crow with the words yata kaka. These words may also be divided, yata akaka. In that case, according to Srila Sridhar Swami, the word kaka is a combination of ka and aka, which indicate material happiness and misery. Thus, Lord Krishna is a kaka, in the sense that he is beyond all material misery and happiness, being on the pure transcendental platform. Shishupal was right in saying that Lord Krishna does not deserve merely the Purudasa rice cake offered to the lesser demigods as a substitute for the heavenly beverage soma. Now, that's a Purudasa cake is something that's involved in karmakanda sacrifices to please the demigods. In fact, Lord Krishna deserves to receive everything that we possess, since he is the ultimate proprietor of everything, including ourselves. Thus, we should give Lord Krishna our life, our soul, not merely a ritualistic offering of rice cakes. So there's a beautiful interpretation for all the offensive comments of Shishupal. And we find that in many other examples in Bhagvatam. So we can learn what is the characteristic of Shishupal, what is the characteristic of a demon. This we find in the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Dambo darpa bimanascha, krodha paurusham evacha, agyana chapidatasya, blah, something, I'm forgetting. Partha Sambandhimasunim. That Dambo Darpa Abhiman. These are the qualities of a demon. Pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, greed, lust. These are qualities of a demon. Acting that modes the action of the modes of material nature acting on the pure spirit soul. And someone may ask, how is that possible? If the soul, part and parcel of Krishna, is his part and parcel, how does the material energy affect him? If he's apara prakriti, he's para prakriti, belonging to the transcendental world, the Atma. But we discussed Mavai Vamso Jiva Loke, part and parcel of Krishna, divine, spiritual in essence. How does material nature affect him? How does it happen? Krishna says, Mama Maya, Dharataya, because it's my Maya. To fulfill the perverse desire of the living being, to become the enjoyer of this material world, he's cast into material existence. He's cast into material existence and covered over. Bhagavad Gita says, Satam Rajastami iti guna prakriti sambhava nibadnante mahabaho dehi namabhyayam. The soul is by nature pure. Asanga hyaya purusha. The soul by nature is pure spiritual essence, unmoved, untainted, unaffected by the modes of material nature. But by his perverse desire, Mama Maya Dharat. Okay, you want to be the Lord and Ishwaraham aham bogi. There's another verse, same. Ishwaraham aham bogi, Sedoham balamansiki. You want to be the Lord, Ishwara, the enjoyer, aham bogi, Sedoham. You think you're perfect, Balavan, powerful, Sukhi, materially happy. You want all that? Go. One time, there was a cockroach in Prabhupada's room. Govinda Dasi managed to catch it. Prabhupada said, put it outside. So she threw it out the window. Prabhupada said, enjoy. Enjoy. Cockroach thinks I'm the Lord. I'm the enjoyer. I'm perfect, powerful, and happy. Even the cockroach thinks that. A worm thinks this. Lord Indra thinks that. And we think the same thing. This is the illusion of material life. This is a deep illusion of material life. Because Krishna is enumerating all the characteristics of the conditioned soul. Dambo, Dharpa, Bimanas, pride, arrogance, conceit, harshness, ignorance. These are the characteristics of the, because Krishna, Arjuna asked him. Krishna enumerated the qualities of a divine person. Daivam Sampadamasana, Daivam Sampadam. What are the characteristics? He told what are the characteristics of a saintly person. Then he goes on to enumerate the characteristics of the non-devotee. Pravritim cha, nivritim cha, janana vidarasara, asatyam nasochamapi cha charo, nasatyam teshu vidyate. The pravritim cha, nivritim cha, they don't know what to do and what not to do. Look at our world. Our world is drowning in an ocean of plastic. I think, oh, this is very good. This is a very good thing. Here in India, I remember the first time I came, everything was in paper or a banana leaf or a clay pot, something recyclable, something that merges back into the earth. Now the place is drowning in plastic bottles and plastic plates and plastic everything. There's plastic in our body. Microplastic is in our body because we're drowning in it everywhere. In the air we breathe, the food we eat, and the water we drink, like this bottled water, full of microplastic. I try and avoid drinking this bottled water. It's full of microplastic. And who knows what kind of effect it will have over the years. We don't know. But pravitim cha, nibritim cha, we don't know what to do, what not to do. We're thinking, this is a very good thing. It's so convenient. A new product. People are making millions of dollars selling water. Imagine, they're making millions of dollars selling water. It falls from the sky. And they're making millions because the water that comes out of the tap, you can't drink it. The air we breathe, the food we eat, the water we drink has become contaminated by our nonsense activities because we don't know what to do and what not to do. Janana vidarasara, asatyam. People are lying. They're big liars, all these big companies lying through their teeth about DDT. I saw an advertisement from like the 1920s, 1930s about miracle pesticide DDT. It's safe. It's not hazardous to your health. And how Marlboro cigarettes recommended by your physician. It shows a picture of a doctor in a lab coat with a stethoscope around his neck, smoking a cigarette. Everyone knows it's going to give you lung cancer. It says right on the package, it's going to kill you. But people they don't know what to do, what not to do. One time, Srila Prabhupada made a joke about this. Because as you may, I don't know if they still make it anymore, but there's a cigarette brand called Kool, Kool. Kool. So Prabhupada said, they call it cool, but it's nothing but hot smoke. How is it cool? So it says right in the package, it's going to kill you. But people, they don't know what to do and what not to do. Nasocham napi chacharo nasatyam teshu vidyate. Nasocham, there's no cleanliness. In Kali Yuga, people think it's described in Bhagvatam that people don't even take a bath properly. Prabhupada was surprised when he came to New York City. You get these studio apartments and there's no bathroom. You have to walk down the hall just to take a bath. Use the toilet. Because people they feel no compunction to even be clean, to wash their body. What to speak of washing, hands are in their mouth, hands are in their mouth. They're kissing their dog. The dog is licking its anus. and it kisses them. Oh, my dog loves me. People die sometimes from horrible diseases they get from their animals. My sister almost had to have her leg amputated because her cat scratched her. And the cat, because they're so unclean, it transferred a very deadly bacteria to her body through her broken skin and got a severe infection. And they practically had to amputate her leg. And people, oh, I love my cat. I love my dog. And they're chanting their dog's name. This woman loves her dog. She's always chanting, oh, sweet doggy, Lily Rose, oh, sweet doggy, sweet. They're not chanting Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. They're chanting doggy, 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 pussycat, pussycat, pussycat. And they'll be born as a dog and a cat, chanting that name. And these are unclean animals. I think, oh, my dog, he's so nice. It passes. I was at my sister's house one time. I was obliged, some social function. So I'm sitting in the living room early morning, chanting japa, and her cat comes in and vomits on the floor. Just, the cat was having a bad day. It vomits on the floor and leaves. A few minutes later, the dog walks in, sniffing. Oh, something tasty. Then the dog eats it. These are dogs and cats. This is the profound impurity in dogs and cats, and people love their dogs and cats. Dogs and cats. If you want a dog, keep him outside. If you can't keep him outside, don't have a dog, because he'll contaminate your whole house. Pass stool on the floor, pass urine on the floor. So unclean. Never. I mean, living with a person who never takes a bath, and they begin to smell. So na socham napi chacharo, na satyam teshu vidyate. No truth, no cleanliness. They don't know what to do, what not to do. These are the characteristics of the demons. Next verse says, asatyam apatishtam te jagadahuranisharam aparasparam sambhutam kyamanyat kama haitukam. Asatyam, they say this world is untrue. This is the Maya bodies. They say Brahma Satyam Jagan Mitya. They say Brahman is truth. And this world is Mitya, it is false. It is not false. How can we say false? It's the creation of God. How can it be false? It is temporary, but it is not false. But they say, asatyam apratishtam te, jagadahur anishwaram. There is no Ishwar, anishwaram. There's no God in control. This is the demoniac mentality. This is Shishupal. This is Dantavakra. This is Hiranyakashipu. This is Hiranyaksha. This is all the demoniac mentality. And it pervades the world. Sometimes I'm surprised. I'll see some news article or some what do you call it? YouTube clip. And the comments, invariably, there's someone saying, oh, it's because of religion. It's because of people's belief in God. There is no God. This is the problem in the world. People's blind faith in God. There is no God. Atheism is on the uprise because they think that God's only business in the world is to satisfy our senses. Prabhupada would say, he told the story of after World War II in Germany. One of his German godbrothers told him this story. I think his name was Sadananda Das Goswami told him this story about how after World War II, everyone became an atheist. Many, many people became atheists because the mothers, the sisters, the cousins, the wives, they all went to the church and they prayed to God, send my husband back, send my brother back, send my cousin back. Please, God, do this for me. And when the husband, the brother, the cousin didn't come back, the father didn't come back, what is the use of God? Like he's your order supplier? He exists to please you? He's a bellboy, he's your gardener, he's your driver, he's your no-car, he's your sweeper. He's meant to supply every whim that you present before him. That's his only purpose of his existence. We're meant to satisfy him. He's not meant to satisfy. Eko bahunam jovidadatikam, and he's giving us whatever we need, no doubt. But what is our relationship with him? We're meant to please him. We're meant to serve him. We're meant to offer something to him. remember, it was John Fitzgerald Kennedy gave a famous speech. He said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but what can you do for your country?" Take out country and put Krishna. Ask not what Krishna can do for you, but what can you do for Krishna? That is bhakti. Bhakti isn't to make Krishna your order supplier. You know, ding, 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 ring the bell, offer agarbati, offer diya, dupam, deepam, naivedyam. Now you give me. Bolo Shri Satyanarayana Bhagavan Ki Jai. Now give me. I worshipped you. Now fulfill my desire. This is not bhakti. This is pious. They believe in God. They understand God is, his pleasure has to be invoked to get something from him. That's pious, but it's not bhakti. Bhakti means you take from me. Whatever you want, you take from me. I am yours and you are mine. That is bhakti. We aspire for that. Anyabhilashita shunyam, zero. Any other abhilash? Zero. Jnana karmadhyanavan anukoyena krishnanushilanam bhaktir uttama. We should be striving for this. We should understand what it is first. What is pure devotional service? This is the verse that describes what is pure devotional service. Bhakti, uttam bhakti. And we should not be satisfied with anything less. Don't make Krishna your order supplier. People say, "Oh, bless." Sometimes people ask me, bless me so that my son can graduate from college. That's not my blessing. Your son, whether he graduates or doesn't graduate, has nothing to do with his spiritual progress. Ask this blessing: when will the day come when I surrender to Krishna? When Krishna is my everything, where I want Krishna more than I want my next breath, than I want my next meal, than I want my next everything. When will that day come? That is blessing. There's a nice story. Srila Prabhupada had one very highly placed member in the Indian railway system. So he was traveling, and the railway manager arranged a first-class bogie for him. Very fancy bogie to make for Srila Prabhupada's comfort. And he was traveling with 3 or 4 Western sannyasis. So word got out on the train that A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, the world preacher, the guru of the Americans, is on this train. So several Marwadi businessmen came back to meet Prabhupada, and with folded hands, they're begging, "Oh, Swamiji, Swamiji, Ashirvad Koro, please bless me, Ashirvad Koro." Prabhupada looked at them, disgusted, pointed to his Western disciples who had left everything, taken sannyas. He said, "You want my blessing? This is my blessing to renounce the world." They all got very terrified. "Oh my God, no." They turned around and ran out. Because this is a real blessing. Not some kapat ashirvad, some cheating blessing. You get money, you get a new car, a new house. Okay, relatively speaking, it's a blessing. But you can't hold on to that blessing. What is real blessing? Uttam bhakti, to become pure devotee. And we should want nothing more. We should want nothing more than that. Anyabhilashita shunyam, make it 0. Only want Krishna. Then we'll be happy. Otherwise, we have a little bit of Sishupal in us. We have a little bit of Dantavakra in us. We have this demoniac mentality. I want to be Ishwar. I want to be the enjoyer. I want to be perfect, powerful, and happy. Make my little kingdom in this world. But what is that kingdom? It's like a sand castle. Children, when they go to the beach with their buckets and little shovels, little toy shovels and toy buckets, they make little sand castles and they make a whole little village. But the tide is coming in, and when it does, the whole village is washed to nothing. That is also our life. That is our life in due course of time. Whatever little sandcastle we build, our home, our car, our bank balance, our family, at the time of death, when the last breath comes, what is the meaning? What is the meaning without Krishna Bhakti? It amounts to 0. We should always remember that. And give up this demoniac mentality that Ishwaraham Ahambi, Dumbo Darpa Bimanascha, pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, ignorance. We reject these things and we embrace Amanitam, Adambitam, Ahimsa Shantar Arjavam, Acharya Vasanam Socham. There's a whole list of who was a devotee also. And it begins, Amanitam, humility, pridelessness, non-violence, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, austerity. These things are our wealth to develop qualities of a devotee. Otherwise, just you put your tilak on nicely, you wear nice dhoti, nice sari, I become a devotee, nice kanti mala. See, here I become a Vaishnava. Vaishnava is known not by his dress. The dress does not make the man, does not make the woman. Our quality makes the person. What is our quality in Krishna consciousness? Where is our bhakti? Where is our surrender? We should examine our heart and see. Because if our heart is full of holes, how can it hold Krishna? If you have a pot that's full of holes, how can it hold anything? Everything just seeps out. If our heart is contaminated by these material desires and material anarthas, it can't hold Krishna. It's not a place Krishna wants to sit. So we have to cleanse our heart by the process of hearing. Pravishtakarna Randrana Swanam Bhava Sororuham Dunoti Shamalam Krishna Salila Sayatasharat. To hear Kana Randrana through our ear, to hear the vibration of Srimad Bhagvatam. And by that Krishna sits, Swanam Bhava, Sororuham. Sororuham means lotus. Krishna sits on the lotus loving relationship in our own heart. But we have to make our heart proper sitting place for Krishna. And that happens by hearing. Karna Randrana. Our heart becomes pure, a proper sitting place for Krishna to sit by hearing. Hearing is very, very powerful. Many verses like this. Yasyambai shoyamananam Krishna paramapurushe bhaktir upadyate pumsa shoka moha bhayapaha. Shoyamananam, by hearing Krishna, about what? Krishna paramapurushe, the Paramapurush, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. By hearing what happens, bhakti upadyate pumsa. Bhakti rises up in our heart. We get bhakti by hearing about Krishna. And shoka, moha, bhaya. Fear, lamentation, illusion, bye-bye. They go away. Just by hearing. If we're not feeling happy in Krishna Bhakti, ask yourself, how much time am I spending hearing about Krishna? Am I hearing about Krishna? If you're not, then you'll know why you're not feeling happy in Krishna consciousness, because we're not hearing. We should always be hearing. Driving, you should be hearing. Cooking, you should be hearing. Dressing, you should be hearing. Whenever you're not doing something that requires your attention, be hearing about Krishna. And this is the foundation of our progress in spiritual life. So I intended to go further in these verses, but that didn't happen. Because actually there's so much this week. Prabhupada said you could, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur spoke on the first verse of Bhagavatam for 1 month. Every day for 1 month, several hours a day for 1 month, and never got past the first verse of Bhagavatam. Every word can be expanded unlimitedly to understand our relationship with Krishna and how we have to come to the stage of surrender and give up all demoniac Sishupal, Dantavakra, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, Kansa type mentality and become real devotees from the inside out. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Does anyone have any comment or question?
Hare Krishna, Vajidhamna Pranam, all glories to Prabhupada. It was such a nice class reflecting upon the activity, the nature and qualities of the devotees vis-a-vis the demons and around us, helping us reflect and ensconce in our heart the reality of today's Kali Yuga life, especially in the Western world, and nowadays in India too.
Everywhere, all over the world. All
Yes.
over the world. Even India is not exempt.
And because it is very important for us to be aware of the nature and qualities of the demonic people Otherwise, we'll become in with that. I mean, remember the Bhaktivinoda Thakur song, Jaro Jagat, Jaro Vidya Jato Mayar Vaibhav, Jeev Karai Gadha. So we'll become an ass in the hands of Maya if we are not aware of what is happening around and what is how to differentiate, because this, all Jnana Satak, all the 6 chapters at the end of Bhagavad Gita is to help us discriminate and be aware where is truth and what is not. So yeah, very important, Prabhu. Thank you for your nectarian class, and your classes are always very, very powerful in terms of uprooting and the strong attachment to Maya, because if you're because of your practical examples, as well as uplifting us towards Krishna with your reference from the slokas at the mode, transcendental mode. So very, very nice. We enjoy your class. Please come and grace us again and again, Prabhuji.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Prabhuji,
Jai
I
Srila
have a
Prabhupada.
question. So why is it that the demons have problems with the devotees? So demons disturb the devotees. So Krishna comes. So why is it? Because they are Iswaraham Aham Bhogi, or so they can be Iswaraham Aham Bhogi, but devotees are very nice and good people. They don't disturb the Kamsa from being Iswaraham Aham Bhogi. So why is it that, I mean, it disturbs?
Bhagvatam calls it envy.
Envy. But why should the demon envy a poor and very, very simple-hearted and
Because we represent everything they don't have: peace, satisfaction, purity. Like a prostitute is envious of a chaste woman. A poor man is envious of a rich man. A fool is envious of a knowledgeable man. It's the nature of the world. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Purana. No, what is this? My brain's not working. Anyway, I can't remember the Sanskrit term, but it means the one who can't tolerate the progress of another person. And that is envy. If you see someone who, say you're at work, you're working in a big company and there's 100 people there, you see your coworker get promoted and you didn't get promoted. You have that feeling in your heart, like, why not me? Your brother buys a big, huge house, but why not me? Or if someone has a baby, someone gets married, someone gets some promotion, some windfall, financial benefit, his business goes through the roof, making money. You can't tolerate the progress of another person. This is envy. So in Krishna consciousness, we reject this. Why? Because everyone gets their due according to their previous life's activities. They've created it by their last life. They've created it by their past punya. And Krishna is reciprocating. Who are we envious of ultimately? We're envious of Krishna. So demons are envious of Krishna. They can't, and ultimately we're envious of Krishna. He is the supreme enjoyer. We want to be the supreme enjoyer. We're not happy being subordinate enjoyers. But enjoyment is the same. Prabhupada said the king and the king's servant enjoy in the same way. They live in the same house. They eat the same food. They enjoy the same standard of living. But one is the king and one is a servant. But conditioned life means I'd rather be a master, a lord of hell than a servant in heaven. This is our disease. It's very unfortunate. But bhakti is very powerful. And by the process, we give up all bad qualities. Yasyasti bhakti bhagavati kinchana savar gunas tatra samasate sura. We develop all the good qualities of the demigods by the practice of bhakti. Vasudevi bhagavati bhakti yoga prayuch janayati ashu vairagyam jnanam chayadhai. We develop detachment. We develop knowledge because Krishna becomes pleased with the devotees. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. He gives us all knowledge by which to come back to him. This is the fruit of our bhakti. But demons don't get that because they're envious of Krishna. So we should take up bhakti very, very enthusiastically and expect Krishna's mercy. And think, I only want Krishna. Krishna is mine and I am Krishna's. Bas. And that is bhakti. But demons become envious because, as I said, a prostitute is envious of a chaste woman. A rich man is envied by a poor man. A learned man is envied by a fool. It's innate. We're never satisfied. If someone's satisfied, this is the panacea. This is the antidote to envy, is to be satisfied with your life. If you're satisfied, it doesn't matter, because there's always someone that's going to have more. No matter what you get, there's always going to be somebody who has more. All the way up to Krishna. He has the most. And you can't be Krishna. So we're always striving to be something we're not. But if we're happy, if we're satisfied, santushta satatam yogi, yatatman dhrita nishtaya. Krishna's advice, satatam, be satisfied like a yogi. Be happy, because this is the art of work in this world. How to be satisfied, not how to get more and more and more and more. Kama rupena kuntaya dishparena anale. Lust burns like fire and is never satisfied. The art of life is satisfaction. That what do you want? I have no desire. I want Krishna. Can you give me Krishna? Otherwise, you can't do anything for me. There's nothing you can give me. Nothing you can give me will make me happy except Krishna. And we should come to that stage in life where I don't want anything but Krishna. Whatever is meant to come to me will come to me by my destiny. Tasyavehito prayatehito kovito nallabhyate yad brahmatam upayada tallabhyate dukkha vananyata sukham kalena sarvatra gabhira rangasa. We should strive for that highest thing. As far as material happiness and prosperity is concerned, that comes automatically, just as in due course of time we get distress. No one prays for distress, but distress comes. Bhagavatam is saying your happiness and prosperity comes in exactly the same way, by your karma, by your purva punya, by your purva pap. Tatteno kampa, that by your evatma kritam vipakam, by what you did your last life, you'll get the result. Why are we stressed? Why should we be stressed? If we understand this, that you can't get more in life than you're destined, and you can't get less, life becomes so easy. Life becomes so stress-free. Krishna is taking care of me. We surrender. He's holding me in his hands. There's a nice story of Prabhupada. I don't know if they still run this advertisement. Allstate Insurance. They used to run full-page advertisements in Time Magazine, Newsweek. And it shows two big hands. And in the hands, there's the house, there's the car, there's the husband, the wife, the kids, the dog house, the boat, the motorcycle, everything's there. And the caption on the picture is, "You're in good hands with Allstate." Prabhupada saw the picture and said, "Oh, this is Krishna. You're in good hands with Krishna." Krishna is taking care of his devotee. Konteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Declare it boldly, Arjuna, my devotee never perishes. So we should have that faith and be stress-free in life, not always hankering more, because there's always something more, all the way up to Krishna. So we reject this idea of envy, because it means you're not satisfied. You're not satisfied in your life. Be satisfied. Be happy with Krishna. Be blissful with Krishna. Be stress-free with Krishna. Such a happy life that's being offered to us by Srila Prabhupada, by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by Shastra. We have to absorb that. We have to live that and be happy forever. Be happy here and happy forever in this kingdom of God. Such a wonderful proposition. Be happy here and be happy there. Go back to Godhead. Krishna's waiting.
Yes.
The demons are always envious. They can't help it. And devotees are always blissful. So a stressed person is envious of a person who's happy. An happy person is envious of a happy person. Like they used to tell us, When I was a young devotee, we'd go out chanting. That was our service, to go out, tilak, kurta, dhoti, shika, and they'd come up, they'd shout at us, "Why don't you get a job? What's wrong with you people? Get a job!" So I say, "What? And suffer like you?" They didn't know what to say. Or they come up and, "You Hare Krishna is a bunch of fools. You Hare Krishna." I say, "Who?" "Hare Krishna." I'm sorry, I'm a little hard of hearing. "Who?" "Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna." just promote them, the chanting a holy name. Sorry, sir, who? "Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna."
Yeah.
So they become their spiritual life. Anything else, Prabhuji? Anyone else?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So nice explanation. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today.
Thank you so much. It was so hilarious. It was like the way you spoke. I was so amazed that, at least, they're speaking Krishna's name. And, they want,
They become Vaishnavas. You read in Chaitanya Charitamrita, when Lord Chaitanya was speaking with Chandkazi, he said, "Oh, you've spoken the word Krishna. You've spoken the word Hari. You've become a Vaishnava. You become supreme," he said, "supremely pure, because you've spoken the name of Krishna." So even these demons, they criticize us. They blaspheme us. They're speaking the name of Krishna. Sanketim parihasyam va stovam helan veva vaikuntha namagrahanam asheshaga haram vidu. You speak Krishna jokingly. You speak Krishna for meaning something else. You speak Krishna inattentively. You speak Krishna for musical entertainment. Haram vidu. All saintly people say agam. All your sins are finished just by speaking Krishna. If it's that powerful for non-devotee, what benefit can we expect to achieve by chanting Krishna, Krishna, Krishna with love and faith? We'll get prema in this lifetime. Prema is in our grasp in this lifetime by chanting Krishna's name. The demons get liberation. We don't want liberation. Namoksham badhimva. We don't want liberation. We want Krishna. So encourage people to chant Krishna. That's Lord Chaitanya's method. That's it. He's traveled all over South India, just getting people to chant Krishna. Not Narayan, Narayan. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Radha Krishna, Radha Krishna, Pranamor. Radha Krishna, Pranamor. Jugala Kishore. Get them to chant Krishna. Okay, thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam. Such a beautiful class. I think Prabhuji is dropped off. So, Vanchakalpataru Kripa Sindhu Vevacha. Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Anant Koti Vaishnavadna ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai. His Grace Sarvadrik Prabhuji ki jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, all the assembled devotees. Dhanvat Pranam. Hare Krishna.